Okay, it's a sunny day again, and I wanted to shoot this quickly because I'm getting into this anxious feeling that, okay, I'm running late, I need to do my Fiverr blogs, which I'm behind on again. It's a constant thing, so I'm avoiding looking at the website so I can finish one of the blogs, but then I have a massage client, well, it's the guy I'm seeing, so... And I know I'm not going to get any work done then, so hopefully I can get home before that happens and do some work and then clean up a bit. So that being said, the gym is important to me. I want to get out to the gym. And that's the title of this video, how it's helped me from, I'm going to say narcissistic abuse. I mean, my father obviously had narcissistic tendencies, especially when I finally brought him to a home. It might be in the past the very few first videos if you watch through them. There's no title on that, but you'd have to watch them. So I know I have a video of him dying and a video of him, leaving him alone when he was dying, because by that time there was no way to communicate with him, and it was important for me to kind of just not be in his grip, because he was pretty shitty, and he kind of did it to himself, so I just let him do what he did. In that respect, when the one or two times that I went to the home, he didn't know how to have conversations with people, and he couldn't hear anything anyways, and he couldn't speak French, and his English is very rudimentary, and so I remember there was just a whole bunch of old people at a table, and all he could say was, I'm 98, I'm 98, as if he was the oldest one. It was all about him being the best, and that was kind of sad. And technically he was, I think, 95 or 96, because he had lied on his birth certificate in the Second World War, because he wanted to go, he had anger issues, he wanted to fight or whatever, I don't know the whole story, because he was always talking in stories like a broken record, and I wasn't really that interested, and I'm still not interested. I don't believe that anything in the past determines who I am. Of course, there's Ancestry.com and all that stuff, but it's not important to me, and it never has been important to me, because you become a victim of your past, you know what I mean? Sure, some knowledge is okay, but I know eventually, I kind of know where he was born, and now I know it's kind of changed in Russia. It was Belarus now it's called, so I can kind of use that. But aside from that, I don't really have an attachment to that. So how the gym helped me through that, I mean, it helped me a lot. It helped me not getting my ass kicked. I had a place to go. And I think subconsciously also, my mother was big and my father was small. But my father was the very violent one, like Hitler. Similar characteristics to Hitler from what I understand, even though my father's Jewish. But Hitler was, I think, half Jewish too, so go figure. But it's that same inferiority complex of being small, effeminate, having something to prove, angry, comes out in that way, and never stopped. And then I was taller and got bigger, genetically, I guess, and it was a form of escapism, but it was also a form of I don't know, my identity, or just trying to do something and be something, I guess. And possibly also sexuality kind of put in there too, because it got a lot of attention. So I guess It was all kind of rolled into one. But where I was working out was kind of like it was a Y, a Jewish Y, Jewish Community Center, which was initially called the Jewish Y, or the YMHA, Young Men's Hebrew Association, but eventually got bought over by the city. So it was a local community center after that, but I wasn't living there when that happened. And it was a place for me to go to kind of break away from being isolated, because that's my father's thing. Not Mormon, it was Jewish, although there was nothing being practiced at home. Yeah, to get myself out, it was like I was always trying to escape, to break free, which is probably why although I use it as an escape, the gym, sometimes, but also now it's just to prevent myself from becoming an old fuck. I mean, someone who, once you lose your capabilities and your health and your ability to move, and with that your ability to think, it just becomes you're kind of stuck. You're just existing, and that's how I saw my parents. So it helped in that respect also. So there was always a connection between the physical, but also like the aesthetics, but also the health of it, because I knew without my capacity, my physical capacity, I wouldn't be able to achieve anything I wanted to achieve. And it kind of stuck with me today, which is good. That's something I'm grateful for. I don't say a lot of things that I'm grateful for, but I'm grateful for that. The ability to take charge of my physical capacity and even mental capacity, to kind of keep going in my life and still have hopes and dreams to achieve something. Right now it's more online, which is great. You get more control of what you want to do. That is it in a nutshell. When I do these videos, I never plan a script. I have the idea comes, and then I see how much I can kind of elaborate on it, and I go from there. Sometimes it's very short. Getting things out sometimes is difficult if it's not prompted by questions or bouncing off someone or seeing people's facial reactions. But I just go. I've had a written journal once when I was younger. I don't have it anymore, but I never did something consistently for years as a journal. I have other ones from when I started my healing process a few years ago. I have a few of those still around, but this YouTube channel is the first time that I have something that's cumulative over years, 3 years, and that's kind of cool. And it seems to be better for me at this time. But like I said at the beginning of this video, I don't really look into the past much. Sometimes I do in terms of physicality and how I was, and just kind of revert myself to someone who was a child, and what, not a child, but maybe a young adolescent, and what I was doing physically, and to kind of get myself to that level, because I think you have to have that mindset to progress. As you get older and things start regressing, your mind starts to regress and think that in terms of what is age appropriate in physicality, which can kind of hurt you in the long run. Pretty soon you'll be someone who is I don't know, in the 50s, 60s, 70s, and people want you to, they'll leave a seat for you on the bus. And then it becomes like you're being treated as someone older, and then it just, the degeneration just comes from there. And I've seen it with my parents. I mean, it's just, it's one thing to be of an older age, but then it's another thing to integrate that in your mind and associate old age with someone who's incapacitated. And it can happen even at younger ages. So physicality is something you can work on in a realistic way. Of course, there's the accumulated scars and injuries and life's events that scar you mentally and all that stuff. So it's always it's a question of time to kind of bring yourself back to when you were at your best, or when you were at your happiest, or when you were at something that is capable of movement and enjoying life in a physical way. So that's kind of where my mindset stays. And nowadays I work more on flexibility, and I'm still interested in developing my body, but I realize my limitations, and I don't have that mindset when I was starting off, and just continue with injuries and push through it. That's I know from experience is not a good thing, and I work a lot on trying to rehabilitate myself or balance my body alongside trying to build it and trying to get myself that I can be more active like I like. Right now, you know, calisthenics seems to be a big thing in the gym. I'm practicing a lot of handstands, but I'm practicing my flexibility to be able to move and feel better while doing stuff on your hands, working on my wrists. Just a whole bunch of different things that make me feel like, okay, there's no limit to what I can do, and that's a good feeling. And seeing the progress is good too. And you can't see the progress all the time. Sometimes it's how you feel, you know. Mentally, it's good in the sense that I see myself progressing. Some people feel good after the workout. Me, it's yes and no. It's a give and take. Because I can go the other way and I can do too much, you know. So it's a balance. I just feel like I'm able to do it, and the consistency pays off. Just like with this channel, it's still a small channel. It's growing, and I'm seeing it grow, and I'm learning patience with it, and I'm using this channel for what I want to use it for, is talk about whatever goes on in my head, and try to vocalize that. And there are people who like it, enjoy it, and that feels good. And I finally started to integrate exercise in this video, talk about it, because of another YouTube channel that I saw, and it just kind of clicked. I knew for a few years fitness is what I do, but it is so saturated. You have to find what is your niche, what works for you. A lot of people combine fitness and something, as a YouTube channel or as a business, as a specialty. And it took a few years to figure out how I was going to do that. And what was very, I won't say passionate, but what I like to do. I like to analyze myself psychologically and kind of better myself in order to better myself physically, in order to improve myself, to enjoy my life, you know. And now I kind of see it more kind of integrating my experience with exercise and mental health as something that can inspire other people, and then eventually maybe bring in some of the routines I do. It might not be appealing to everybody. I do a varied amount of things, and there's things that I've had to leave to the side because I just don't have that much time. But I kind of mix and match it, and I kind of go back to things. So if anything, just the discipline of getting out and exercising, or just getting to a place where other people are exercising, or just going out in the nature, or whatever it is you like to do on a consistent basis is good, and it keeps a routine and it keeps structure, and yeah, it's good. And for me, it just gets me out of isolation. Even though I talk to a few people, I've become better at developing gym relationships. There seems to be a better type of crowd there. Or it could be that I'm kind of different now, too. So, I don't know. Let me know what you think of this. And I'll probably be doing more videos on this integration of exercise, partly because my other channel, which is exercise related, I don't have the motivation to do it because it's kind of like it's less authentic. So I'll do things that are more scripted, but I don't feel like doing it. So I'm not doing it. This is more authentic. This doesn't require preparation time. It just requires the idea, and then pull out the camera and make sure the light is facing me. And that seems more doable. And it took me a few years to be okay with that. That's how the channel is going to be. And already there's improvements in the channel, possibly in the topics, in the way I title videos. The camera's still the same. I'll do some videos of that will try to drag people to the channel, and I'll put a thumbnail on it. So that's a little bit of a change, and that's fine. That's the way the channel's going to be, and it will slowly graduate into something, you know, as it grows, as more people find out about it, as YouTube kind of adjusts its algorithms and puts it in the suggested videos or related videos. And I'm still doing the Instagram postings, and that's grown quite quickly. Take Back Your Life, MTL, with a hashtag in between each word. And yeah, so this video's gone longer. As you can see, I'm kind of monotone. I don't put on a act of being expressive, or this is just kind of how I am. I'm not always like this. I have, you know, I guess an external personality for others, and that less and less. I mean, it seems to be that just kind of being myself with these streams of consciousness and just laying it all out, and hopefully some points will be put across. And that's it. So I'm gonna get ready quickly and leave, and that's it. Talk to you later.